Somebody's gonna think I'm burying bodies back here. So I've shown you the compost pile, and I'm bringing back yard cuttings for this. Now we're on agricultural land, so none of you guys start tattling. But this particular one has green grass, has comfrey in it, and it has a lot of biomass here. So I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. I got a program called Composting Made Easy because, you know, the older I get, the less I want to spend a lot of time turning compost piles. So what we do here, again, is bringing in all of our household compost and putting it into this metal ring. This ring is a cattle panel. There's a lot of ways to make compost. This particular way is going to be the easiest possible way, but takes the longest. And so what we end up doing is I'll throw a lot of this material that I brought here last time, all those grass clippings, because it's grass season, and they're kind of dried out. So they're more of a carbon right now. And I don't need to put a layer in here, but I'm going to put a layer on top of here. And then I'll put a layer of green, and I'll put a layer of grass. Now grass tends to mat down. It gets a little moldy and stuff like that. So it's not the best use. It would be great to have some wood chips. It'd be great to have something that was a little bit more carbonous. But again, I'm building up my pile of materials because when we install the humanure toilets, which are not going to be used very often, they're going to be used on the weekends and stuff, I want to have enough material to put that on in the pile. So there'll be sawdust and wood shavings and stuff in the humanure bags, and then they'll go in here. I'm using a home composting bag to kind of make that job a little bit easier. They'll go in here, and then I'll layer in my grass and my comfrey and everything like that. But I'm going to maintain this little pile. This pile was all nice and neat when I left, and as you might notice, animals have dug through it and kind of flattened the pile back out. So what I'll do is I'll mound this back up again, and while I'm mounting it, it'll be making some compost. But ultimately, I'll keep putting materials into this pile. Now, for a complete program on humanure, there's the humanure handbook. We do a class on humanure. We can also show you kind of the composting more efficiently, because we have a lot of materials to compost. But what would be a better thing to do with all these materials? Now, I showed you a video last week where we fed a bunch of grass to cows. This would not be the best thing to feed the animals. All this shortcut grass is not good to feed the animals. It tends to mold, it tends to get soggy, and not really, you know, it's nutritious, but it's not that good for them. What it would be great for is to throw in the bottom of your chicken coop. Okay, so you throw this material in the bottom of your chicken coop. You don't want it laying in a pile like this if you have something better to do with it. But you lay this in your bottom of your chicken coop, and your chickens will turn it into eggs. You can also mix it with leaves, wood chips, different carbonous material like that. Start making compost for your garden. Again, the piles that I have here are long compost piles, but if you want a short, quick compost, then you can do the Berkeley method, and you can build a pile up. If I was bringing materials from the neighbors, like their bags of leaves or their bags of greens, and I ended up with an abundance of greens, I could feed it to a biodigester. We actually have a class on how to make a home-sized biodigester. I've made one. I've shown you in past videos. This is perfect material to feed to a biodigester, especially this grass. Now, the comfrey itself, that could have been fed to goats. Comfrey is a good mineral accumulator. If it was in better condition, we could have turned it into tinctures and other things. So again, we want to turn this stuff, we want to turn this grass, the biomass, the animal waste, all this stuff into the most valuable, useful materials when other people look at it and consider it to be useless. Actually, I'm not going to do it today because it's starting to rain. Some of this drier grass would be great mulch around some plants I planted last week. So I've mentioned a couple times that all these plants in this little nursery back here intend to go out into like little landscaped areas. And so again, this mulch would be great in that landscape area to cover the soil, because you never want to have exposed soil. So I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead, and this has been just a little primer. You know, I'm dragging all these bodies back here of compost and things. I just want to show you. I do have a cemetery over there, but I do want to show you that this is chicory, this is comfrey, and rough and mowed grass. Not the best thing to be feeding to animals because it's all mixed up, plus it's been rained on a couple times, but it's perfect feed for maintaining compost pile, and for your humanure system or your biodigester system. And ultimately, it's going to give you another life of this materials. Now, the best thing is to have less grass, have less lawn, and then, or have sheep mow your lawn or something. We can talk about that some other time. But again, I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead. Be sure you like and subscribe and ask your questions. I would much rather sit around all day and answer your questions as it pertains to the work we're getting done than it is to kind of think of videos to give to you. I do look at the stats, but ultimately your engagement in these videos, I want to hear your successes. I want to hear about your best practices. I want to hear about you getting a piece of land that was nothing but woods and turn it into a homestead, turn it into a family campground, turn it into hunting land, turn it into anything that you want and that you're going to use and that you're going to live with nature. You're going to chill out, relax, create abundance. Thanks for watching.